Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abina and I'm a travel content creator based in London, UK, but traveling around the world. And every year I do a kind of video that's like a BTS, like a behind the scenes of like my life, the reality of being a content creator. I'm not an expert, but I'm living it. I've been living it for the last 4.5 years. So in 2021 I did a video that was like being a content creator in a pandemic, because that was the reality for all of us, but like how did that affect me as a content creator. And then last year I did a video that was being a travel content creator with a 9 to 5, because I was kind of waking up early to edit content, going to work, in lunchtime doing client meetings, after work posting on Instagram. But as of 3.5 months ago, I no longer have a 9 to 5. So this video in 2023 is about my life as a travel content creator full time. Disclaimer, I feel like in 2023 especially, whenever I scroll through the feed on Instagram or TikTok, I see so many videos of people talking about how to be a content creator, buy my course, buy my guide. And I'm not here to tell you that those things are scams, but I think everyone's journey is so different. And so you really need to be careful about kind of who you're listening to when you're like saying you want to become a content creator. So this video is not teaching you how to be a content creator, but I'm just going to talk from like my personal experience. At the end of the video I will do a Q&A to answer your burning questions, so definitely stay tuned. Hello my lovelies, as you can see I've currently come into town. I'm in central London and I'm heading to this event. I'm actually late. My friend Jess, who's my +1, is here before me. How embarrassing. But it's meant to be like this Christmas winter themed art exhibition in a hotel. In a hotel they do press days, they work with content creators, so they invite me down. So I'm excited for this. So guys, it's currently like 11:15 and I haven't even gotten to my content creation stuff for the day. So after my morning routine in the morning, I usually do a couple of hours of content creation, which is like editing content. Today is YouTube day, so I always have to set aside a whole day and a half to do YouTube, because YouTube takes me like a good 5 hours minimum to edit. But I haven't even gotten through to editing today because I have to do admin work. And it's all this random admin that comes with being a content creator full time that like no one really talks about. And it's tax season. So in the UK, you don't really feel this if you work a 9 to 5, because your employer files your taxes for you. So before your employer pays you, they will deduct your taxes and then give you the rest of the money. So you don't even have to think about your taxes. Just see on your payroll, oh, we've deducted this amount of tax and we've given it to the government. Bim bam bosh, you keep it moving. When you work for yourself, the ball game changes. You file your own taxes. Things you're not taught this at school, I guess, because there's assumptions that most people will work for an employer and will not have to deal with filing their own taxes. And I've been going back and forth on emails with my accountant because I've just asked him dumb questions and he's so patient with me. But I'm like, I wish they taught me this, because how would I know? Also, just been looking at my analytics this morning and I don't know. I feel like a lot of content creators complain about the algorithm and I hate complaining. I don't know. I just trust God and I just know that like my work is good. I'm proud of my work. So whether 100 people see it or 1,000 people see it or 1,000,000 people see it, it's like I appreciate every single person that's seen it. And also I know it has impact. Even if it just impacts 1 or 2 or 3 people, that alone is like amazing. You know what I mean? But sometimes I just get a feeling of like, am I good enough for this? Am I cut out for this? And especially when my analytics got low, I'm like, yo, like my bread and butter now is working with brands, and like, would they want to work with me? My analytics are low. They feel like I'm not getting enough views for them. And it's a little bit stressful. currently getting ready for a press trip I'm leaving to tomorrow, and I am packing my camera bag. I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you my camera bag as it currently stands. First things first is my main camera. So this is my main camera. I absolutely love her. She is a beauty. She's such a beauty, and she is a Canon R5. She was expensive. Expensive. She cost me $4 grand, and even then I got it off like one of those weird websites. If I paid for it from like the Canon website or from Amazon or something like that, I think is closer to $5 grand. But it's just such a professional camera. The quality is amazing. I chose Canon over Sony, which I know people love Sony. They love the Sony a7 III, but Sony isn't the best for black skin, for brown skin. Canon's true tone technology is way more advanced. Then let's talk about my old camera. It's a lot smaller. She is a baby, and she is the Fujifilm X-T30. So this is the baby over here. Fujifilm, funny enough, has become like the trendy camera to have. Like, she is very much a beginner camera, I would say. The next camera I wanted to show you guys is my GoPro. I have the GoPro Hero 10. One thing I really love about it is that there's a screen at the back, and there's also a screen at the front. This is another screen, and it just means that if I'm filming myself like this, I can see myself here as well as here, which is great. But GoPros typically are used for action shots. If you're moving a lot, it doesn't shake, which is great. It's also like very wide angle, so you can capture everything around you. And I use this for underwater like shooting, so videography and photography underwater. I don't take it on every trip. If I'm going on a trip that's like a city break, or I'm not doing anything too adventurous, I won't take it because I already have my main camera, and so it's not really needed or necessary. I also, next in my camera bag, have this. It's an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I recently decided to get a phone dedicated to content. Before I was just using my personal phone for business stuff as well, but now that I'm a full-time content creator, it's just really nice to separate personal from business. Also, because all the videos I was taking for content was just clogging up the space on my personal phone. So now my personal phone, like, people try and airdrop me stuff, it doesn't receive it because it has literally no space. So I bought the newest phone as a place for me to store a lot of my content and just to shoot content. So I don't even have like a SIM card in here. I don't even have any apps. It's literally just like the basic apps that you would find when you buy a phone. Because I just use it for the camera. I low-key regret, I don't know, the 15, it's not that good. Like, it's good, but I don't think it's like a significant upgrade from the 14 or the 13. And I promised myself I would get the 15 because my personal phone's a 12 Pro Max. But honestly speaking, I think the 12 Pro Max, like the quality of my phone is really, really good. So when I upgraded, I was like, I can't even tell that much of a difference. And also the autofocus on this phone sucks. So that's my review of this phone. It's not very positive. The next camera I have, my vlogging camera, is actually the camera I'm using right now to vlog. It's the Sony CV1. I like the quality of this camera. I think for such a small camera that fits literally in the palm of my hand, it really does really well. The only downside to this camera is that it does crop quite close. So if you ever see a vlog of me and I'm talking to you guys and it's like my face is in the whole camera, it's literally because even though I stretch out my hand, still the camera is really close to my face. I also sometimes struggle with shake on this camera. Like, sometimes you just see like it's a bit shaky. So I feel like maybe in the next year or so, if I stay serious with YouTube, I will probably change this camera. Next thing that I have is a drone. So I have the DJI Mini Pro 3. No, I think it's the Mini 3 Pro, but you get what I mean. It's a really good drone. I recommend it. Apart from the cameras, I tend to have me a tripod. So I'm currently using like a really cheap Amazon Basics tripod that I used for years. I now have a Manfrotto tripod. This tripod, it is so heavy duty, but it is like professional grade. If you're a photographer, you are a professional content creator, this is what you need. It's so sturdy. It's not flimsy. It doesn't like rock in the wind. I will also have a gimbal for my phone. So this is my gimbal. So I put this thing on my camera, this thing here, and then I attach it to the gimbal like this, and it will connect by itself because it's a magnet. And then I turn the gimbal on and watch my phone. It stabilizes, and so literally it just stays super straight, and I can move it up or down. But like, say I want to take like a video, I literally just use my gimbal like this, and it will keep my phone straight. I will have like an extension cord. I have an extension cord, and then I'll have like a converter so that I can use this plug on it. I will also take like a ton of like SD cards and like hard drives to back up all my stuff. That is basically my camera bag, and I don't take everything for every trip. Like this trip, I'm gonna take most stuff, but half my trips, I'll probably take my main camera, my iPhones, and maybe my vlogging camera. I tend to leave my drone and my GoPro at home when I really don't need it half the time. So guys, I've just arrived at a location and destination for my fresh trip. I'm here with Virgin Atlantic, and they've invited me to Turks and Caicos. Breathe. Crazy. I feel like the last month I haven't really traveled that much, and I was feeling really down about myself as a content creator. Like, how can I be a travel content creator if I don't travel? And now being back on the road just makes me feel so alive, and it's not a vacation. I'm here to shoot content and to publicize the fact that they have a new direct route from England to Turks and Caicos. Before, there was no direct route, so this is really cool. But to walk into this room and to see this view and to know that's my job honestly blows my mind, and I'm so grateful to God, and I'm so grateful to do this. And I don't even say this to boast, anything like that, because I do work really hard, but God has been so grateful to bring me this far, because like in this industry, favor and networking and luck is such a massive thing. I am one of 2 content creators that were chosen for this trip. The rest of the people were journalists. You know what's so funny? When I was on the plane, a woman was like, "Hey, I want to ask you a question," and she's like, "I am so proud of you as a Black woman that you're on this press trip." Is honestly a step in the right direction in an industry that, let's be honest, is, you know, white dominant. An industry in which sometimes people think that Black cash and Black money doesn't go far. So to be here and to be representing is like super just awesome. That being said, I am now gonna change and start shooting content. I usually shoot the room, so I do like a little room tours. I don't touch the bed, I don't touch anything. My suitcases are in here. I like to shoot the room clear, do a little room tour. I do one for YouTube, I do one for my TikTok, I do one for Instagram. And then I'm gonna change, and then I'm gonna go onto the beach and shoot on the beach, and I'm also gonna fly my drone. So I have a lot of things, but I have a list. And then once I finish the list, then I can relax. Hi guys, I'm back from Turks and Caicos. As you can see, I am at home in my room. And as I promised, I am ending this vlog with a Q&A about content creation. I put a question box on my Instagram. I won't answer the questions that I've already answered in this video. So for example, like what camera gear do you use? How do you take photos to yourself when you're traveling? Because I've gone through my camera bag, so you know I have my tripod, whatever. But I will go through a couple of other questions. So, tips for growing social media followers. The number one tip I would give is to be consistent. There are some people who are like, I don't know why I'm not growing on social media, and you go on their page and they have like only like 10 posts. Sometimes too, you feel like you are posting, but you're not growing. I would say that there are ups and downs with social media. Like, I go through months where I literally haven't grown, because at any point in time you are losing followers and you're gaining followers, and your growth rate is like you being able to grow way more than you're losing. And that is hard sometimes to like overcome, but you can overcome it if you are consistent. I'll also say, secondly, make content that people would want to like save or respond to. So for example, whenever I see like a funny reel or a relatable reel on my feed, it's like ha ha ha, oh my god, like, you know, whatever. And I feel like some of my most viral videos are like my most emotional videos, or like videos where people feel like they can relate to it. So I remember this video that I did that was like POV, you and friends are now at that stage where you can afford to travel together, and everyone was like tagging their friends like, oh my days, yeah, now we can do this, like now we can go and do like our dream trip to Rome or whatever. And it wasn't a very super educational video like I usually try and do, but it was very much like very relatable and very like inspiring and aspirational. So I think anything that like would make someone laugh, feel a certain way, like think about how people feel they're watching a video. If they feel bored, then they probably won't stick around that much. Finally, I would say like look at the content creators who you look up to, who you think are growing on social media, and look at what they're doing. I'm not saying copy them, because people hate when like other people just copy them black and white, but try and find inspiration. What is it about their content that's making it stand out, that's making people like stick around? How do you feel when you're watching their content? Is it that they have very smooth shots that makes their content very like aesthetically pleasing to watch? Is it that they're packaging their content really well? So they might go to a trip, like I went to the Caribbean, and they're still saying, hey, look at me, I went to the Caribbean. They're like 5 things to do in the Caribbean, top tips and top things you should know before you go to the Caribbean. Those are two, same content, same videos, but 2 ways of packaging that video. One of the ways is like, look at me, I'm boasting and who cares about that, and the other one is like, oh wait, I can learn something from your trip. So always think about how you're packaging your content. Which social media platform creates more revenue for content creation? Hands down, YouTube is #1. You can literally make a living out of YouTube just from AdSense and monetization. So YouTube is like super important, but YouTube is also the hardest to grow on, I would say. And then Facebook, I know it sounds crazy, but Facebook has monetization that's literally on par with YouTube. Like I have friends who are making like £2,000, £1,000 per month just posting their reels from Instagram onto Facebook. Facebook has monetization, Instagram does not. So once you reach a certain amount, I can't remember off the top of my head, you can monetize on Facebook, and I feel like people are sleeping on Facebook. Also, a mistake that people are doing is like, when you post an Instagram reel, it'll give you the option to like repost that Instagram reel on Facebook. But if you do that, because of the music licensing rules, even if that reposted reel goes viral on Facebook, you can't, that doesn't contribute to your monetization basically. So you actually have to like post your reel on Instagram, then take the same video file and then post it separately on Facebook for you to then qualify for monetization, if that makes sense. There's so many people that are sleeping on this. It's actually quite confusing, but I'm really trying to get to be monetized on Facebook, because I feel like it will be really helpful. And then after Facebook, we have TikTok. TikTok is not really great. They have like their creativity fund, whatever. It's pennies. It's like I can be making maybe 50p a day, 30p a day, 20p a day. This is p, like cents. This is not even pounds. And they've now done this thing where you can only earn if you are making videos over 1 minute. Any video that you do that's under a minute, you can't earn anything from that. And then Instagram. Instagram has like minimal monetization. They used to they monetized reels in America for a little while, and then they stopped. And now they're asking us to pay them instead for like blue ticks, which I just find crazy. But Instagram is best for working with brands. I find that brands are like mostly on Instagram. How do I find brands or tourism boards to work with? Do I reach out to them? I'm so bad at reaching out to brands and tourism boards. I actually suck. And everyone's like, go pitch to your dream hotel, go pitch. I'm really bad at it. Thankfully, I recently got management, so they've been pitching me here and there. But I will say this, realistically speaking, the majority of brands will set a budget for marketing for each quarter, for example. And they will dedicate and split this marketing budget into campaigns. So a lot of the time when you see your favorite influencer post, you know, a brand deal, if you follow a lot of influencers within that niche, low-key you will find another influencer also posting that same brand at the same time or around the same time, because usually it's a campaign. So they've picked a couple of influencers to promote their product or to launch something within a certain time frame. So if you are cold pitching to that brand, their budget has already been allocated, and it's like, it's just not gonna work for them. Even though they really love you, it's just not gonna work for them. So when you're pitching, don't see the no's as like a rejection. Still go back and be like, hey, please put me, like, please consider me for future campaigns. Because a lot of the times the no's are not personal, they're just not nows. So that's really important to think about. There are, of course, a few brands that will have like just spare cash, and so when you do pitch them, then, you know, you will get somewhere. I will also say that in the travel industry, things have gone a long way. Back in the day, there was no way you could get paid for a hotel campaign. Like, it's the norm that you collaborate with a hotel, for example, in exchange for the stay. But now, if you work with the hotel's head office, so like, for example, if it's like Hilton Hotels and you work with Hilton Hotels, you can get paid. I've been paid for hotel campaigns. Yeah, but they reached out to me. As I said, I really suck at reaching out to people. Second tip for like being successful and reaching out to brands and setting expectations is find the right person. So sometimes it's best for you to just DM the brand on Instagram and be like, who is your influencer marketing or PR contact email? And sometimes I've had brands that have been like, oh, we don't work with influencers, but it's a lie because their PR agency has reached out to me for a campaign. So the people that are on social media half the time are not the people that are deciding which influencers the brand work with, blah, blah, blah. So you need to bypass them and just ask them politely, like, who's the contact I'm meant to be talking to? And half the time they will give you the contact. Sometimes they won't, and you need to go on LinkedIn and stalk the brand, who works for the brand, who works in marketing for the brand, stuff like that. A third tip I'll give you, this is for the travel space, but also probably for like other niches, is that a lot of brands don't know how to do influencer marketing. So you're reaching out to the brand, but they don't even have their influencer department in-house. They're using an influencer marketing agency. And influencer marketing agencies are massive in the industry at the moment. And they're basically middlemen who help brands understand influencers, find influencers to work with, and run campaigns for them. So half of the brand campaigns I do with brands, I'm not even working with the client directly. I'm actually working through a middleman, which is like an agency. And if you're on an agency's radar, you are gonna get access to like all their clients. Especially in the travel space, there are marketing agencies that will cover like a group of hotels. So I would say don't sleep on influencer events, don't sleep on introducing yourself to agencies in your industry who work with influencer marketing, and just say like, hey, I'd love a coffee chat. Just that, just a coffee chat. Hey, by the way, I'm a full-time travel content creator, would love to work with some of your clients, would love a coffee chat. But yeah, directly pitching is very hit and miss, and I don't do a lot of it because I'm thankful enough that my content speaks for itself, that a lot of people have seen my content on social media and like, oh, we want to work with this girl. So it's really important that you see your content as a portfolio. What are your go-to tips for getting perfect angles / finding poses, especially using a tripod? It is not easy. I will say practice makes perfect. I, at home, will sometimes just stand in front of the mirror and like practice different poses, or say I'm going on a trip. I would look at the outfits I packed and I'll wear the outfits and I'll just imagine myself where I'm going and be like, okay, how would I pose in this outfit in the destination? So definitely do that. Secondly, mood board. So when I'm going to a destination, I would often go on Instagram or Pinterest and look at other people who have been to that destination and kind of see like what outfits I should pick, what's the vibe, and through that I'm also able to see kind of how other people pose and how other people have creatively in their own style kind of shown the destination or the place. And so when I go, I try and like learn from that, also bring in my own twist. How do you plan your content calendar, manage your different socials, and keep up with posting? I don't. It is so hard to keep up with posting across multiple platforms. I try and spend 2 hours every single morning when I'm at home editing. I edit a TikTok and an Instagram video. I'll do that throughout the week, and then on Mondays I try and batch repost and repurpose my TikToks and my Instagram videos. So I'll repost onto YouTube and I'll repost on Facebook, and I'll just schedule all those Facebook and YouTube short videos for the week. And with YouTube is really tricky. Apart from Mondays, I have to find another day in the week. It's usually a Thursday or Friday or Saturday. where I just sit down and spend a couple of hours in the afternoon doing a YouTube video. If I'm going on a trip, I will try and batch content create before I go on a trip so I can schedule some stuff to go. But sometimes I'll just edit on the trip, even though I don't really like doing that. I don't really have like a content calendar that goes beyond a week or 2 weeks, just because I like to kind of always come up with new ideas and like execute those new ideas like immediately. So I will think about, okay, next week what can I post, or I'm going on holiday, what reels can I produce out of this holiday, what are the things that people want to see, so I can film those things. When I do get ideas and I'm like, I can't execute this right away, I will just put it on a list in my Notion. So in my Notion I have a list of just like random reel ideas, and when I feel like a song comes up or the time is right, I just pick the idea and I execute. Tips for being a content creator, even if you're shy. I am naturally an introvert, so yeah, like people who see me now are like, oh my, and have known me when I was younger are like, oh my god, like Abner, like, you know, really come out of your shell. So I really wanted to ask this question, even though this has been a long video. Thanks if you're still watching. I would say, one, definitely create a separate page to start your content creation journey. Secondly, you don't have to show your face. There's so many successful content creators who we don't even know what they look like. But not even in that way. Like, increasingly, a lot of my content, I will show myself, but maybe out of a whole video that has like 10 clips, I'll only be like 2 of those clips. Do you know what I mean? It's great to show your face in like the first clip so people have something to like latch onto, or like know the person behind the screen, or on the last clip. But you can, especially in the travel niche for example, you can focus on like showing the destination and only show a little bit of yourself. Or in the cooking niche, right? Like people want to see recipes, they want to see your hands making the food. Maybe at the end you show yourself trying the food and like, oh, this tastes nice. But you have to show yourself for most of that video. A lot of educational niches, you kind of just show the process. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. I know I speak fast, I'm so sorry. I do have to go shopping, so I've been rushing through the questions. But feel free to leave questions down below. If I don't feel comfortable answering, I will tell you, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. But if I do, I will respond. So hope you found this insightful, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.